taking part in an action to mark 67 years of Palestinian dispossession and ethnic cleansing, the Nakba, that began in 1948 and unfortunately has not ended today. And we're thinking about the Yarmouk camp in Syria and Gaza, the Gaza Strip, as being two places where Palestinians are placed under siege and where the international community has shown very little respect for their lives or their well-being. Unfortunately, with the politics in the Middle East, sometimes we look at maps and numbers and statistics, and we forget that there are real people under these bombs who are trying to get married, who are trying to have babies, who are trying to just do simple things like fall in love or even smoke shisha behind their parents' back, whatever it is. Very important parts of their lives. Today's action here was inspired by that and just having to put together a dramatization of the siege. It felt incredible because when we were sitting inside the cage and looking at passers-by who were on their lunch break in beautiful Melbourne and just looking how they would give us a second and move on, it felt to me like, you know, we were in Gaza, we were in Yarmouk, and the rest of the world gives us this 1 second of attention and then moves on. So it was very, very powerful and moving for me.
Help me!
When I was there, I was struck by the number of people who were standing around in the streets aimlessly doing nothing because they had nothing to do and they were so deeply affected by PTSD from their everyday experience, they just had no existence. It was actually very distressing. It was heartbreaking to see this, and it actually affected me deeply for about 3 months after I came back. And it was worse. The demolition site was even flatter, and some of the buildings that had been there before were gone. It was catastrophic. It was actually unbelievable that this was happening in the 21st century. And in fact, on the way to this event today, I was thinking the Ottoman Empire occupied that area for close on 500 years, I think it was, 500 years. And nothing like this ever happened. Nothing like this happened. Our Nakba, after the vote, the partition, within a day, the Zionists started destroying Palestine, and they haven't stopped to this day.
About 6 weeks ago, I came back from the West Bank. I wasn't based in Gaza or Yarmouk, so I wasn't in a place that was under siege, but I was certainly in a place that was under occupation. So I was in the city of Hebron, which is a really holy city for all the religions, because it's understood that Abraham was buried there, and it's been a horrendous place to live since 1967, since the Israeli military occupation took over, and some of the most militant settlers have settled there who believe it's their spiritual and moral obligation to take over the land. And it was just horrible to see. And with settlers come soldiers, so there's an Israeli soldier for every 5 Palestinians living there, and you could see it. The Israeli military going into the schools and arresting children who are just trying to learn, about children who literally to walk out their front door have to go through a military checkpoint. And the night raids, the detentions, the arbitrary closures of roads, it's just a horrendous place to be, and Palestinians need their state. They need to be free. We need to end the occupation of Palestine. For the people in Gaza, for the people in Yarmouk, the other refugee camps around the Middle East, for the people in the West Bank who live with their lives completely controlled by the Israeli military and the Israeli state that keeps allowing these settlers to come in and take over Palestinian land, to demolish their lands, to decide when and if they can go to school or to work. It was heartbreaking. Yeah, so today's theatre was just an opportunity to stand with the people of Gaza and Yarmouk, and I guess I had no idea what that would feel like emotionally, to put ourselves in a really crass way, like in the place of Gazans and the place of people in Yarmouk who don't have enough food, who don't have medical assistance, and through whom the international community is letting them be under siege. Like, literally caged in. The wars come over the fences into their communities. And so today was just a really powerful way of of stepping into their shoes, and it broke my heart and made me want to stand in that place of grief so we can keep trying to change it.
Look, ya alam, Sarduna!
Attention, people of Melbourne City.